I've got it. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Hi, guys. Sorry about all that stuff. Anyway, this is Karen Squillante, and I invite you to come into Nature's Alchemy, where we explore natural healing with crystals, plants, and herbalism, essential oils, and the many ways that Mother Earth provides for our healing and well being. I am really excited to be here today. Last week I was under the weather, so I know that they put a recording in there so that you wouldn't miss me. But today I'm feeling a whole lot better. And I wanted to tell you that I am going to be teaching today on the clairs. So the clairs, not like a person clair, but like clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, and claircognizance. Now there is supposedly a fifth one. However, let's see. It's supposed to be like the smell thing, but you don't really most people, we lump that into the clairsentience because that's a knowing. So we're gonna, let's see, we're just gonna go right into it. So we're gonna talk about, let's talk about and also I'm going to be talking about some of the crystals that can help you through it. So that will be fun. I also have, of course, you know, on me, I always have show and tell. So I'm going to, let's see, let me close that down. I'm going to be talking about the crystals that are also going to be helpful when you, if you have clairsentience or if you want to develop it. And okay, all right. So clairsentience. Now, you strongly sense in the emotions and feelings of people, spirits, animals, places. Sometimes it can even go to where you feel inanimate objects, which is something that I do. It is something that I'm able to feel. Um, but it's not very, it's not very common. So most people, if they're clairsentient, and a lot of empaths are like this. Okay, so you have very strong emotions, and you sense the emotions, let's say feelings of people, spirits, animals, and places. So you feel these emotions both in the heart and in your body. Okay, you feel the presence of spirits. And I want to talk about how you feel that in your body, because a lot of people, um, a lot of people get anxiety. Okay, and they get it and they feel this heaviness in their chest, or they get it in their solar plexus or somewhere else. Sometimes they get headaches. You know, these emotions are very powerful, and so especially when you feel those emotions in your chest, excuse me, emotions in your chest and in your solar plexus, those are usually the heart chakra, of course. All right. And the anxiety is from the heart chakra because that's fear. That's just fear based into your heart. Okay. Because your heart is also worries about loss. And the loss can be a very devastating thing. So anxiety is worried about things that haven't happened yet. All right. And so that's projected onto loss. Um, the solar plexus is when you feel that you have no control. Okay. That you have no control over what's going on. I feel out of control. Okay. And so when you feel these people, the emotions of people, spirits, animals, and places, sometimes you can feel out of control because you're not really sure where they're coming from. So it's really important to ask yourself where this stuff is coming from, because not all anxiety starts with you. Okay. A lot of times it comes from the people that you are around. Okay. People, places, animals. Not so much animals will give you anxiety. A lot of people will. So if you're in a crowded room, or you're in a big, like a shopping mall, or you're even in a store and all of a sudden you start feeling these chest pounding or your stomach gets tight, all right? That's not coming from you. That's coming from someone else, okay? If you have clairsentient abilities, you are very sensitive to your surroundings. You easily sense the vibe of a person or place. So when that happens to you, you've got to ask yourself, where is this coming from? Because like I said earlier, it's not really coming from you if all of a sudden those feelings just come up. So it's really important to protect yourself, okay? Um, let's see, what else can I tell you about clairsentience? You can feel the presence of spirits. Sometimes people talk to the dead. They talk to I like to call them disembodied spirits because they're not really dead. Okay, their body is dead, but they're not dead. That's why a lot of times people see ghosts, apparitions, that kind of stuff. So when people are seeing these things, they're seeing the energies of the people that they knew. All right. So you know what people are feeling without telling you. And so when you're feeling these disembodied spirits, or if you're out somewhere and you have this feeling, you're also really good at knowing when people lie to you. Okay, and that's also claircognizance. So I'm going to get to that in a moment. A lot of times people have more than one clair. So don't get stuck on one, because a lot of times what happens, if you're aware, you have this awareness, you've got awareness on many different levels. Okay. Another thing that people with clairsentience, when people are in pain, you can feel it in your own body. Like one time my son was experiencing this awful anxiety in his chest, and it was like almost debilitating. Like I couldn't breathe. And I looked at him and I said, Michael, I said, are you having an anxiety attack? He's like, yes. I'm like, oh my God. So of course I helped him through it and breathed in. He takes CBD oil for that, which is really good for anxiety. Another thing that you can do for anxiety is St. John's wort. You can make your own tincture. When I had the classes about herbs last time, I told you how to make a tincture. But you can take St. John's wort and just get like a ball jar and fill it about 2/3 of the way with some dried St. John's wort, and then fill it up with alcohol. Shake it up real good to make sure that um, all the air is out, and there's liquid in between all of the herbs. And then you're going to put it on a shelf. You're going to shake it about once a day. You can hold it to your chest. You can add love to it. You can add intentions to it. I do that with my tinctures. I just seem to feel like that when you put that energy in there, that it just seems to work better. So you have to leave it in a dark cupboard for about 6 weeks. And then you get some cheesecloth and you press out as much as you can. And then you can use the St. John's wort tincture. Normally it's 2 dropperfuls about a half an hour before you go to bed. Whoa, what just happened? Uh-oh, something just happened. Hold on. Something's not right here. Okay, well, I'm going to keep going because hopefully, because it is recording, so you may be able to catch this recording. Let me see. All right, so somebody mentioned before that sometimes they can feel it in their body, but they don't know where it's coming from. What you have to do is, the best thing to do is to remove yourself from that from wherever it is that you're feeling those strong emotions, and get away. I would at least go outside and take a couple deep breaths, and if it's still with you, it's coming from you. But if it's not and you're feeling better and it's alleviating the feelings, then that's definitely from where you're at. So I'm and you're feeling better, and it's alleviating the feeling. Hold on, I gotta turn the sound down. Okay, so now you can taste and smell things from the spirit world too. We're still talking about clairsentience. I apologize, but I don't know, Mercury must be retrograde. I think the electronics don't like me very much. I'm not really sure. I may be one of those people that just affects electronics. I never noticed it before. Anyway, so some of the crystals that you can use to help protect yourself are clear quartz. All right, I have, of course, I got show and tell, so I'm going to show you everything. All right. Oops, sorry about that. I cut my finger the other day when I was cutting lemons. Here's some clear quartz that's just tumbled. That's just sorry about that. That's just a tumbled clear quartz. And then here's a clear quartz crystal. Okay. And then also here's just a rough piece of clear quartz. Okay. So it comes in all that kind of different shapes and sizes. Another thing that you can use now, clear quartz, I do have descriptions for these also, and I do want to tell you about that so you can get a full lesson today. Clear quartz is very powerful healer and energy amplifier. So anytime you ever want to add more energy to whatever it is you're doing, you always want to grab a clear quartz. It absorbs, stores, releases, and regulates energy. And it also doubles your biomagnetic field when held. So your biomagnetic field is your aura and all the other layers that go with it. It's not just your aura. Your aura is the layer that's closest to you, which is what most people see. But there are about 7 layers in your biomagnetic field. So it actually doubles it. Okay. Also, it takes the intent of the user to the most perfect state possible or your highest good. And it connects the physical dimension with the mind. So it's an excellent crystal to use if you want to develop or enhance your clairsentience. All right. The other thing is also it stores information and holds your Akashic record. All right. Everyone has a quartz crystal on this earth that holds your Akashic record. And since you don't know where it is, there, as the legend goes, and I'm pretty sure this is true, there's a big vault that holds all of these crystals. And so I believe, because I've accessed my Akashic record with just a regular crystal. In fact, this is a Lemurian crystal. All right. And those are actually the best ones to use because they connect to the ancient civilizations. So I would assume that all clear quartzes are kind of talk to each other. They're in quantum, they're sharing quantum energy. And so, if you know anything about quantum mechanics or quantum energy, you can be in 2 places at the same time, or you can be connected to something that's light years away. If you've ever gotten connected the first time, you can be connected forever. You're connected forever. Another one is light amethyst. And I know I've shown you this piece before. This is one of my favorites. Okay, but it's not dark. Okay, it's very light amethyst. All right. And so you can use this also to connect to your crown chakra. All right. Amethyst promotes love of divine. It encourages selflessness and spiritual wisdom. So that's also very useful. It enhances your metaphysical abilities. So you can use this to enhance all of your metaphysical abilities, not just the 7th chakra, although that is useful because of the color. It's very good for meditation, and it's good for astral travel. And that's where you travel from, is you travel from your crown chakra. Okay. It's good for dream recall and visualization. It helps with transition through death. So if you know somebody who is ready to pass on, I would just load them up with a bunch of amethyst crystals because it calms them down, it relaxes them, but it also helps them to let go. See, that's why sometimes people, when they're ready to die, that their ego or their body holds on to the last vestiges of energy. But if you relax and let go, all right, your transition will be easier. So amethyst helps that. All right. It also balances emotional highs and lows, and it overcomes addiction. That's why amethyst is the official stone of AA. And it protects against psychic attacks. So that's very useful, especially when you're meditating or you're astral traveling. You want to have something that's going to protect you. Excuse me 1 second. Another crystal is clear calcite. I have a really nice piece here. Okay. It's a double refractive stone. So that means that when you put something under it, like a newspaper, or you want to look at, you can use these to look at the sun. That's what the Vikings did. It creates a double image. Okay. And so you it it it, it it's a excuse me, sorry, I got tongue tied there for a second. Because it's a double refractive stone, it's a very powerful energy amplifier, and it cleans the energy. It facilitates higher awareness and metaphysical abilities. Okay, and then the other two that I have, I don't have it. Well, I have Herkimer diamonds, but I have no idea where they are. They're packed away. So Herkimer diamond is another one that you can use, and it creates a powerful soul shield when journeying or undertaking spiritual work. It stimulates metaphysical abilities, connecting to guidance from higher dimensions. It promotes dream recall, and it accesses past life information so that you recognize blockages or resistance to your spiritual growth. And it helps you to see your soul purpose. So Herkimer diamonds are really useful for that. Now, a lot of if you get big ones, are really expensive. Okay. Usually you can get them, oh, I don't know, maybe a half inch to an inch, and you can anywhere between $20 and $40 for a good clear Herkimer. But they have amazing energy. I like them better than Moldavite, tell you the truth. Moldavite's it's a big trend for Moldavite right now, and there's a lot of what do you call it? Fake Moldavite out there. Okay, so it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell the difference. But Moldavite is not a volcanic glass. Excuse me. It is an extraterrestrial glass. So that's why it has all those little convoluted things, because it was hot and then it cooled down pretty quick. Okay, so they're tektites. They're basically meteorites that come from other places. So Moldavite is an extraterrestrial. Now you can use it if you have a real one, okay, but the other ones are pretty much glass, and they've been dyed to look like Moldavite. Another one you can use is apophyllite. Now there are several varieties of apophyllite. You have apophyllite. You have different ones that most of them grow like on a matrix like this, okay? But this is, of course, is amethyst, but they grow on top of a matrix like this. And they resemble quartz, but they're four-sided. They're not six-sided like a quartz. So that's how you can tell the difference. If you look straight down on apophyllite, you're going to see four sides, okay? Not six. Six sides is a quartz crystal. If it's not six side, it is not a quartz crystal. All right, so make sure that you understand that. But apophyllite is excellent for developing metaphysical abilities. It is a stone of truth, which means that it helps you to introspect and correct imbalances in your emotions and in your spiritual levels. It also abandons pretense, and it breaks down reserve. So it brings recognition of one's true self. So it helps to break blockages, and it also helps to, I guess the best way to put it is to get over denial. Okay, because reserve is basically you're holding back. Okay, so it brings recognition of your true self, and especially helpful in healing the spirit. Okay, so that is clairsentience. So the next one we're going to talk about is claircognizance. Now, claircognizance is when information comes to you spontaneously. In other words, you're sitting there and all of a sudden, boom, you get a message, and you don't doubt it, and you believe in your soul that's 100% accurate. So this information will come to you in the form of figures and facts, or you just know the truth of a situation. A girlfriend, a boyfriend, you feel that stuff, or a career path. Right? If you have claircognizant abilities, you are very inspirational, creative, and you have beneficial ideas. So you're basically you come up with solutions. You're a solution-oriented person. Your mind is never still. You're always coming up with new ideas, especially when you're working on a project. So you're a good team player, and you're also very creative. So you automatically know also when someone's telling the truth or not. A lot of times, and we empaths, we get stuck with narcissists, because we want to help them, and we want to fix them, and we want to make them better, which is the wrong thing to do. But because they don't need to be fixed, they're that becomes a codependent thing. Okay, but you always know when they're lying, even though they tell you that they're not, and you don't what the hell you're talking about. You stick to your guns because you know the truth. All right, so you can always come up with, you always know in your heart, that's what claircognizant means, a knowing. All right, that you tend to use the words I know when having a conversation with others. Okay, if you're clairsentient, you tend to use I feel, or how are you feeling. I do that a lot. I ask people how they're feeling because I can just look at them and tell something's not right. So especially with my kids, they hate it when I do that, but you can't hide from an empath. Okay, so some of the crystals that are really useful for somebody who has claircognizance, rose quartz. All right, rose quartz is a stone of unconditional love. Here's a heart. I know you've seen this one before. Okay, this is my rose quartz heart. And behind me, these are all big, huge rose quartz chunks. Okay, those are natural rose quartz chunks. And also here's a piece. Here's a piece of rose quartz. That's just a little tumbled piece. This is one that you put in your pocket, or you stick in your bra if you're a girl, if you're wearing one. And I'm baby boomer. I have traditional roles, so you're just gonna have to get over that one. But if you can, rose quartz, you want to put this close to your heart. Okay, so that's where it affects the heart chakra. Now, it's a stone of unconditional love and peace, and it's the most important for healing the heart. Now, if you're claircognizant, okay, you just know that's in your heart. You just know that it's the truth. Okay, so if you use rose quartz, you're going to encourage that knowing, all right, because that allows you to heal from this, express from the heart. It promotes receptivity to beauty of all kinds. It attracts romantic love, and it supports an existing partnership. It also restores trust and harmony, and it's the finest emotional healer. And I'm talking literally, not just figuratively. You can put a rose quartz on your heart. A lot of times, people, when they get their heart broken, it hurts. It really hurts. It's a physical attribute of having your heart broken. And sometimes, so you can take a piece of rose quartz and lie down and relax and put it right in the center of your chest, and you'll feel better in about 20 minutes. I would definitely recommend that if you're going through any kind of heartbreak, or if you just want to enhance your claircognizance, I would absolutely get the biggest rose quartz that I could afford. Now, you don't want to get a honga piece like this because, you know, that'll crush you, but you want to get the biggest one that you can. I don't have any, my other one is with my, I do crystal readings, and so I keep my big rose quartz with my crystal readings. Okay, let's see, what else can I say about that? All right, so another one that's helpful for claircognizance is green fuchsite, and that is also for the heart chakra. It speeds up the healing process. It channels information regarding herbal treatments and holistic remedies. So if you're interested in herbalism, or if you just want to learn things for yourself, here, this is fuchsite. Okay, it's gorgeous. It's green and it's full of mica. Let's see if, hold on. There you go. It's just really pretty. This one is natural peace. You can get the tumbled kind, ruby and fuchsite, but wait, this is ruby and zoisite. No, ruby and fuchsite. See what happens to it? It doesn't look as pretty. I mean, this is just absolutely beautiful. It's just all sparkly and green, and I love it. It's an emerald green. Okay, so fuchsite deals with issues of servitude from past or present lives, and it also shows you how to be of service without getting involved in power struggles or false humility. Okay, false humility is when you want to help and you want to look good. So, you know, you do things because you want to do them, not because you want other people to look at you and say, oh, that person is so humble. That's bullshit. Seriously, that's spiritual narcissism. Go on YouTube and look up spiritual narcissism. It's very interesting. There's a couple of psychologists that actually coined that phrase. Well, I don't know if they did, but they have a couple of videos on YouTube. So I would definitely recommend you check that out. Now, the other thing that you want to use is you want to use carnelian, because carnelian, if you're claircognizant, okay, let me just go over some of the other things that claircognizance does for you. You receive the answer to things and you don't understand where they came from. Okay, you have very inspirational, creative, and beneficial ideas. All right, so remember, I was talking to you earlier, you know, your mind is never still. You're a person that just comes up with solutions. And so in order to encourage that, I would definitely get a carnelian. So this is a big piece of carnelian. Okay, it's orange, right? It's a big piece of orange carnelian. And you can keep that by your heart if you want. You can put this in your pocket. Actually, it's better to keep it towards your sacral chakra because that's where it works the best. This is another piece, a piece of mine. Somebody gave this to me because it was broken and it couldn't sell it. But if you look at it, it's got some really, really nice bands. So this is part of the geode. See, you can see the outside of the geode. It was sliced. But I just love the energy in this carnelian. So you can use that. All right. Let's see. All right. So the next one is we're going to talk about clairvoyance. What is stop? Hold on, guys. I'm not sure why that stopped. Oh, all right. Well, I'm just going to keep going. All right. So the next one is clairvoyance. What? Okay. Interesting. All right, I'm going to ignore that one comment because, oh my gosh. All right, clairvoyance. So, sixth chakra, third eye. All right, you see things as images in your mind, or you have a precognition in your dreams before they manifest. I just wish I understood why this isn't working. Oh well. All right, so you see things as images in your mind or as a precognition in dreams and before they manifest. So if you have clairvoyant abilities, you constantly have vivid dreams. You are very imaginative and you spend a lot of time daydreaming. And you always speak in metaphors. Now that's interesting. That's a very, very interesting way to talk. But that's a good way of explaining things too. All right, so metaphors are really good. So metaphor, you can see shapes, colors, pictures, or objects when you close your eyes to sleep or during meditation. You can see flashes of light, sparkly lights, or movements through the corners of your eye. And you often use the word I see when you are talking to others. Okay, so the sixth chakra is helps with that, and two of the crystals that come to mind are lapis lazuli and dark sodalite. Now, lapis lazuli is probably the most popular and the most famous. So here's a piece. All right, and it has that royal blue color. It's just really gorgeous. I mean, just absolutely beautiful. And lapis lazuli is gives you it. It has a key to spiritual attainment. It's excellent for enhancing metaphysical abilities and dream work. It possesses enormous serenity and is protective, alerting to psychic attack. So if you're about to be, or if you are feeling that way, the lapis lazuli will let you know really fast. It also enhances the knowledge of the power of the spoken word. Now, you know there's power in your words. Everything you speak comes to fruition. So you do have to choose your words wisely. It also harmonizes the body, mind, emotions, and spirit, bringing deeper self knowledge. It encourages expression of creativity. It confronts the truth where you find it and accepts its teaching. It also enhances self expression and releases suppressed anger. Okay, the next one that we're going to talk about is dark sodalite. And here's dark sodalite. Now, a lot of times you can see it with, I'm going to show you the other side. Okay, a lot of times you see it with calcite. All right, that's a lot of calcite, but it's actually just the corner of it. It's mostly dark blue. Um, you can use lighter sodalite, but that's not really what's going to work. Okay, it's dark sodalite. Remember, sodalite is a bridge crystal, which means that you can use it for two different chakras. So you can use sodalite for the throat chakra, and you can also use it for the third eye. So sodalite opens spiritual perception. It unites logic with intuition. It brings the higher mind down to the physical. It also stimulates the pineal and pituitary glands, harmonizing with the third eye, and deepens meditation to understand the circumstances to which you find yourself. That's a very useful thing to have. So figure out like, well, how did I get here? All right, that will help you figure it out. And that cuts through the denial and all the other stuff. So it's a very useful crystal to have. It instills a drive for truth and it urges towards idealism. It encourages being true to yourself and standing up for your beliefs. Because it is a throat chakra crystal, it will do that. It also releases mental conditioning and rigid beliefs. Okay, so that's sodalite. Now, the last clair I'm going to talk about is clairaudience. Still not understanding why that's like that. All right. Well, clairaudience. So you hear messages either inside your mind or audibly. Sometimes people hear messages, like some I every once in a while I'll lie down and meditate, and I will start talking to my guides and they talk back to me. So, I hear the conversations in my head. So that's what clairaudience is. Okay, either in your mind or you're hearing the words from, actually hearing words. For the majority of people, these messages come in the form of telepathic communications, meaning that the spirits will have a conversation with you through your thoughts. That's exactly what happens. So you can have a conversation with spirits and they will reply. So if you have clairaudient traits, you listen more than you talk. You speak to plants and animals because you believe that they can communicate with you. I talk to my plants all the time. I go outside every time I go outside. I have a beautiful rosemary plant that's off to the right of my front door. And every time I go by there, I stroke it and I say, hello, rosemary. Of course, I say hi to all my other plants too. But I love rosemary because I love the way it smells. So every time I stroke my hand along the branches, I just, oh, that smell, that fresh rosemary smell is so invigorating, and it just clears up your sinuses and wakes you up. It's just really wonderful. So you often feel as if you are the recipient of telepathic information. Now, a lot of times people that are clairvoyant or that have the clairs can be mediums as well. And some mediums are usually clairaudient because they hear um, they hear the words. And so that's if you're clairaudient, you might be a medium. So if you get words and you get messages, don't turn them off, or don't don't ignore them like they're not real. They're real. Okay. And the way you test it is by what they're saying. If they're telling you something that's negative or that's hurtful in any way, then they're not your guides. There's somebody else, and you need to get rid of that. You need to push that energy away. Do not even allow that into your sphere. Okay. When you provide really helpful advice, sometimes you forget what you said right away, and then you wonder where you got that information from. It's like all of a sudden it just goes bleh, and it comes out. You know, that's happened to me a lot too, where I've been talking when we had our shop, and people would come in, and I would talk to them. All of a sudden, the stuff would just come, right out, and I would just it would just come, and I would speak it, and then they'd be like, "Oh my God!" But it was from them. Robert asked, "Yes, you can be combo clear. You can be more than one. In fact, I have all of them. A lot of empaths are pretty much have them all to one degree or another. Okay, so you can definitely possess more than one. It's pretty common for you to have more than one, because if you're clairsentient, then you have that knowing to begin with. You feel the emotions, and so when you feel the emotions, you're going to go along with the messages that come with it. So yes, absolutely. uh yeah, I know. Yes, Robert. Combo clear, I got it. So yes, you can have um you have others. Yes, everybody, like I said, most empaths will have traits of other ones, but one might be stronger. That's also a possibility that one may be more developed than the other. Okay, so, or you bounce back from one to the other. You could go, um, say, oh, you're welcome, Robert. You can bounce back from, say, claircognizance to knowing to hearing of messages, and then also feeling the emotions of the people around you. So yeah, you can, if you have those abilities, you can definitely bounce them around and use them all at once if you want. That might be a little overwhelming. You have to want to practice and, learn protection and, all that kind of stuff. I One of the classes that I have coming up is I think I did a protection on empaths, but I want to do some more. And next week I'm going to talk about strong emotions and how to deal with those, because a lot of empaths, they they feel them, and they don't know what to do with them. So I'm going to be teaching that next week. But I want to finish the clairaudience. Okay. You'll often feel as if you're a recipient of telepathic information. When you provide really helpful advice, you forget, oh, yes, I did talk about that. Often hear buzzing or ringing in the ears. You experience the same sensation in your ears just before they pop on an airplane. And you use the words I hear when speaking to people. I hear, you hear, they heard, that kind of stuff. So some of the crystals that are very useful for clairaudience are blue lace agate and angelite, because those are communication stones, right? And they're higher communication stones, which is where the clairs come from anyway. So one of the crystals is angelite. Okay, there's angelite. Angelite is a very old stone. It's also related to, where is it? It's related to celestite, but I don't seem to have any here. I thought I did, but no, I don't. Okay, but oh wait, let me see. Oh, yes, I do. I have celestite. Okay, so this is celestite. This is the older. No, angelite's the older stuff. Okay, so when this is millions of years old and this is billions of years old. So what happened? Yes, it is. I love angelite. It is a very calming stone, Robert. Absolutely, and I appreciate your comments. Celestite over. What happens is celestite grows in geodes. Okay, because if you look at the back, you see that it's just a piece of a geode. But when they are under heat and pressure for a few million more years, they turn into this. And when you open up a geode of angelite, it's solid blue. It's solid this color. Okay. Also want to show you, I do have a couple little pieces of tumbled, right? There's a little piece of tumbled. And let's see, here's another one. Now, angelite's a very soft stone. So you got to be careful with this, that you don't mix it in a bag with some quartz or something that's harder. Angelite on the Mohs hardness scale, I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but when you put together crystals, you put them in your mojo bag. A lot of people just throw stuff in there and they don't understand that sometimes they can break up each other. So if the Mohs hardness scale starts at 1 and goes up to 10, 1 being talc and 10 being diamond. Now, it just doesn't go up arithmetically, like 1 is not double, 2 is not double 1. It's 10 times as hard. So it's exponentially harder. So the next level's 2. If your stone is on a 2 on this on the Mohs hardness scale, then it will be 10 times harder than talc. So angelite's a 4 on the Mohs hardness scale, but quartz is 6. So it's 20 times as hard. So if you put a piece of quartz in with a piece of angelite, it's going to scratch the angelite up. So you got to be really hard when you pour your crystals in a mojo bag. If you want, you can get those little teeny zipper pouches that you get at the crystal shops, the ones they put 1 or 2 crystals in, and just put your angelite in one of those little Ziploc bags. I mean, the plastic, let me tell you this. Plastic not going to stop the energy of the crystals, all right? They don't like plastic, but it's not going to stop them from exuding their energy. Okay, so like for instance, do you go inside the house and use your cell phone? Well, if you're, what about all those 4 walls? The energy doesn't stop at the 4 walls. So the same thing with crystals. Crystals project your energy. All right, so if you want to protect your crystals, sometimes that's what you got to do. All right. All right, so angelite. So what angelite, oh, and also blue lace agate. Here's a piece of blue. This is the only piece I got. Okay. Oh, the physical aspects of crystals are very fascinating, Robert. My first class was all about that, but I'll be glad to talk to you um, more about that if you wish. I'll be glad to do that. Now, blue lace agate and angel light. Blue lace instills peace of mind. It opens the way to higher energies, and it facilitates expression of spiritual and personal truth. It also counteracts fear of rejection and judgment, and it unblocks self-expression and counteracts mental stress. So that's why it's really good for the fifth chakra. And it's really good for the clairaudience, okay, because you're using words, all right? Angel light also represents peace and brotherhood. It facilitates conscious contact with the angelic realm. It enhances telepathic communication. A powerful stone for healers. It deepens attunement. It heightens perception. It also encourages speaking your truth and to be more accepting. And it also alleviates psychological pain and counteracts cruelty, transmuting disorder into wholeness. So those are the crystals that will help you with those clairs. Now, don't be, most people are like, well, I don't know how to develop my clairs. Well, you already probably have them. Everybody has them. It's just that whether you believe in them or not, and then if you believe in them, you got to be open to them. And the more you're open to them, the more it's going to it's going to open up for you. Okay, so you definitely you definitely want to be open to that. And you also can use these crystals that I told you about to help you while you're developing them. And you can meditate, or you can just sit there with your crystals, put them on the appropriate chakra. Okay, if you want, remember clairsentience is your crown. Claircognizance is your fourth chakra and your sacral chakra, your heart and your sacrum. Your clairvoyance is your sixth, that's your all-knowing. And your clairaudience is your fifth chakra, okay? So you could use all these crystals for that. Okay, so that's it. That's a lesson for today. I hope you really enjoyed it, guys. I don't know what happened to, I suppose it's streaming on your end, so I'm not really sure. I guess I'm just, well, I'm not going to say this because I really would like to be technologically free of glitches, and that would be really nice. So anyway, again, this is Karen Squillante. I am inviting you to come into Nature's Alchemy, where we explore natural healing with crystals, plants, herbalism, essential oils, and the many ways that Mother Earth provides for our healing and well-being. Thank you so much for watching. And next week again, we're going to talk about strong emotions and how we can deal with some of those. So have a